Hey Bane, how are you? Thank you very much. Good luck with your tournament as well. Hey Master Chief, how are you? I need to check what the battle conditions are for today. Knockback Resistance, enemy speed, ultimate weapon durations, tank ultimate, mass enforcement. Right, there's Defy down today as well. So I presume the run would be pretty consistent. Now knockback resistance might be a problem, especially with commanders. Oh, it's a PB tournament, you think? So I mean, my damage is pretty trash, so I'm not sure how much of a PB it would be for me. But yeah, let's sort out this stuff first. So we need damage. I would be using Harmony Conductor as the S mod. I should put Anti-Cube Portal as the primary, and yeah, Space Displacer would still be good for the knockback resistance. I guess at some point, if I get more levels into the unique effect boost for the armor module, I might be able to start using the, what is this, orbital augment for as the S mod. But I don't think I can do that just yet, because 2 ops is probably not going to do anything. So right, we need death penalty definitely. A 0.6 on the attack speed, that's probably not very useful. I don't mind some extra defense percent, to be honest. Well, anyway, let's figure that out later. Let's gem rush this first. Let's put in health mastery. Yeah, that's cheap. All right. Switch to a tournament setup. I have the next level is 100Q, so I don't think I can afford that. Yeah, because like 10 levels. 10 levels is 7. Is 7, so 7 times 5, that's 35. I might only have like 50-ish Q or something of coin. Maybe let's keep this the same. There is no op resistance today. Okay, so if there's no op resistance, then maybe 10 on the op size. And how much attack speed can I get? Not much at all. Right, 5 here. 5 here. Alright, we're done. We're done with our spending. There's nothing else that I can really spend on. I can get 64 levels into landmine damage. Nah, let's not bother with that. It's too irrelevant at this stage. Yeah, okay. I think that's all that I can do for the cuts. Because there is no op resistance and there's no death ray resistance, I think it's fine to use enemy balance. And we swap out health and health regen. Yeah, this should be fine. Okay. Let's get started with the tournament then. Not much time to waste. So as with last week, I think I'm going to start off with just 43.5 meter range, and then later on I'm just going to increase the range. Just to play with the inner landmine plus. Or do I actually want to bother about that? Let me think. Sorry, 1 second. I should think about this kind of things before I start streaming. Yeah, let's just try this out and we see how we go from here. So that means I need 1.75 meters on... I think I can worry about the knockback force later. Sorry, the what is that called? I think I can worry about the shockwave size later on. Yeah. Okay, let's swap out the fetch and summon for attack and ally. Let's switch the bots to the flame bot spec. We can get a bit of extra duration for Thunderbot today. And let me just double check everything. So this is tournament setup. Alright, knockback force, we can max it out later on in the run, that's fine. Yeah, it will max out anyway. Tournament setup here, enemy balance is on. This is my tournament setup. Nothing to change here. Range and shockwave size is set up accordingly. Yes, okay, so let's start with the tournament. Hopefully we get a good bracket today. So stressful at this time. Let's go. Oh, that's a very big flame bot. I like that. I guess, let me get back to the chat. I guess, Bane, you mentioned that the this is going to be a PB tournament because there is no knockback. Sorry, there is no Defy and Op resistance, so it's going to make commanders a lot less dangerous. Which means that we only really need to worry about overcharge. But you know, I have a pretty strong health pool. Right, if I take out this and put in the health mastery, I'm going to have many queues of health, so I think I'm going to be able to tank overcharge for quite some time. Oh, 589, hello, how are you? No, I did not see your waves. Let me see. Is it going to be a very long tournament? Oh my goodness. Let's see. Whoa. 6157 waves. Man, congratulations. That sounds really painful, man. How long did it take you to do the tournament? Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those tournaments where there's going to be quite a lot of waves. Mainly because we don't have to worry too much about a lot of the enemies, right? So as long as we are able to kill elites that are buffed by the commanders, we should be fine. Everything else, it's just going to be taken care of by Ops and Defy. Now, one thing that I want to do now is actually take out the range card, put my Ops in first, and put the range card back on. And mainly it's so that at least I can have some time to attack the overcharge enemies later on. But you know, we are sitting at quite a good amount of ELS today, and I've also got 5 levels into the ultimate weapon duration. No, into the ELS thing. So we are sitting at 37% of ELS reduction instead of the usual 40%. So that's nice. Do I really want to try hard and gem rush one more level of health mastery or health regen mastery, or landmine stun mastery? Nah, let's not bother about it. Let's just save the gems. It was so easy today, nearly a 7 hour. Dude, I don't want to hear this, man. It's 12:30 midnight at the moment. I don't want to do a 7-hour run, or like, you know, I'm not going to get as many waves as you. I don't want to do a 6-hour run either. The sun would be up before I go to bed. Shit. Oh no. Oh no. What's the plan, guys? I don't want to do a 6-hour stream. David, hello, how are you? Yours was 17 minutes, it was a PV2. That's nice. Nice to know. Rappaport, hello, how are you? And Emmy, hello, how are you? Well, hopefully at least the tournament is a fun tournament, you know. A fun tournament, by that I mean that we just don't take too much, don't get griefed too much by the enemies. ACP or SD for tournament? If you only can use one Emmy, I think ACP. Mainly because Defy and Ops can get rid of a lot of the enemies. So you are kind of limited by how much damage you can dish out, I think. So yeah, I would go for ACP. And you know, you can always run ACP with a slightly larger what is that, shockwave size, just to push the enemies out a bit further, because of mass enforcement and whatnot. Hey Casey, how are you? As usual, we'll check the bracket at 1800 waves. Hopefully today's gonna be a good bracket. And you know, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get anywhere close to 589's wave count, 6.2k waves. I don't think that's possible. But let me see. Based on our past, oh shit, I just tracked the bracket, huh? Based on our past tournament, it was 4.4k waves. We might be able to reach 4.5k. I think I can reach 4.5k because I have that extra level of ELS. And we might as well just see the bracket now, I guess. So Captaincy, we should be fine. Sauce, we should be fine. Banjo, we should be fine. Gonzo, we should be fine. This is fine. Oh, hang on, guys. Is this going to be a good bracket? Hang on. Oh shit, there's so many people over here. Okay, let's see. Lights, okay. Okay. Very nice. Nice. Oh shit, it just jumped. This is fine. Fine. Hang on. Oh boy. I mean, I think we basically got the one of the best brackets ever, right? This is such an easy bracket. Which means I don't need to get very high wave count. Hans, hello, how are you? Vane, you think 4600 waves? Yeah, probably somewhere around there. But man, I guess I don't have to do 4600 waves today. Oh, this is wonderful. And check out my health regen. This is without the health regen cut. 431 billion. Just a few levels into health regen mastery. Level 3 currently. And you know, it's ticking up there. I think we should be sitting around like 100q of health or something. Hit 3200, call it a night. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I saw a couple of people at tier 21. So maybe when we hit 1800, we just check the leaderboard again, because there was a bit of a shift in the wave counts later on. As I went down the list. So I might have missed a couple of people there, but barring any unfortunate circumstances, we might be able to get first place today without much effort. That's awesome. I hope every tournament is like this from now on. This seems like a good time to join. Oh, this is good. You know, my day just feels a lot better now. So 589, why did you end up doing like 6.1k waves? Was there someone very strong in your bracket or something, or you were just trying to push for a PB? If you're still here. So it's so nice we just zapped everything off, and I can totally foresee that later on when commanders come and they come with that whole wave of tanks, we're just gonna zap them. Probably the thing that would be dangerous would be the tank ultimates. Because my damage is pretty weak. But, you know, I think we should be fine for like 4500 waves. Shouldn't be an issue. Especially since all tanks do is they just break my wall. And later on I'm going to be increasing my range anyway. So we should have a lot of AWP damage on them. I think my damage is now capped out already. Yeah, so the 8x damage multiplier is capped out. That's 1.4 Q damage. Health multiplier is still... I've still got about a 10x multiplier to go, so yeah, I'm gonna have many Qs of health today. Overcharge will not be an issue. Even without the wall fort, overcharge is probably not going to be able to do very much to me later on in the run. And you know, I can always put on my health regen card, especially later on when, you know, when I start hitting trillions of cash or something. I might be able to just take out the cash card and slot in the health regen card if I so needed it. But we should be fine for overcharge for quite some time today. How did I just get a double golden combo? Right, I think I forgot to turn on my poison swarm stun. Yeah, so let's turn on the poison swarm stun. So maybe just for the stream I'll show off the stats. We are currently almost at 80 attack speed. Damage stats are as follows. So damage per meter just under 6x. Yeah, pretty standard. I think poison swarm damage skills off ran armor multiplier, so this number has been, you know, whenever I have cash, I've been putting it into it. In my defense stats, defense is sitting at 78.5%. I think last tournament it was around 75%. So, you know, getting up there. I still have the substats to roll and so on. This should eventually get closer to 98%. Knockback force is a bit lower than usual. Just because I rolled out the knockback force substat for the defense substat. And I've also got a bit more health regen substat, so that's why my health regen looks a bit higher than usual today. Max recovery is at 52. Max recovery, I believe, is the one that allows me to get 10Q health instead of 202 trillion health. Yeah, and pretty much very standard stats all around. Hans, how has my progress been? That's a very good question. To be honest, I'm not sure how my progress has been as well. So I'm back visiting family and friends, and my game has just been on AFK for the past few days, so I haven't really checked it out. But this is how the stats look like. So I farmed to about 5.5 to 6,000 waves in tier 18, and I get about just under 800 Q coin per hour. Yep. So I think for my labs, I'm able to run 3 of them at 6x and 2 of them at 5x, and it should be the case that I'm able to fully maintain this. However, because we are in a tournament now and I've only got 800,000 cells, what I might do is I will put this down to 5x, because tournaments take so long to complete. But yeah, that's been my progress. I think in terms of my modules, I managed to get a couple of levels into the generator module. I'm not sure if this is the most efficient breakdown. I haven't really used the calculator to check it out. But eventually, I guess we want both of them to be the same level. And my multiplier efficiency is currently sitting at 86%. So maybe there's some rebalancing that needs to be done. I think I will just go ahead and just max out the main one first. And maybe when this gets to 210, I might bring this up to a little bit and experiment with it. But we shall see. It's probably not going to be a huge difference in the coin that I get. Graham, yeah, only 800,000 cells, and the reason why I say only 800,000 cells is because look at how much it costs. It's 480,000 for an 8-hour session, so pretty expensive. But I can't believe, like earlier today I was taking a walk, and I can't believe that it's already been like almost a whole year. It's December now, and the year's ending soon in like two and a half weeks. And man, this year has just gone by so quickly. It's I don't know, it's stressful if you ask me. I just feel like I've accomplished very little this year. So I don't know. I hope it's much better for all of you. I find that's a sign of getting old. Oh no, Graham. I don't want to be old. So I read somewhere before that mathematically speaking, each year of our lives that we live, it has less weightage than the previous year, right? So if we are 1 year old, then that year that has passed is 100% of our entire life. But the second year that we live is only going to be 50% of our entire life. And so even though the duration of time feels the same, there's that illusion that we have that time is speeding up the more years that we live. Just because each day has like less importance in the grand scheme of our life, you know. Happens whether you want it or not. I can vouch for that. Yeah, no, I think that's probably true. Like the each year that I live, I find that it is passing by faster and faster. Okay, so almost at 1500 waves. Check out the enemy health. It's still in the O region. 4.80. We're skipping quite a lot of waves. Like each, so like 50% of the waves are being skipped. With my EOS these days. So pretty comfortable. With the EOS upgrades that I have now. I'm actually not too fast that I didn't manage to get that next level of EOS and stuff. Of course it helps, but the wave counts are already very long, and it's very painful to do any longer tournaments. Treble, hello, how are you? I'll appreciate the passing time more if I join a cult. Check it out. Sure, which cult would you recommend, Treble? Oh wait, which cult are you a leader of? I'm very true. I noticed that as a kid based on the 1-hour trip to my grandparents. What was a long trip when I was 3 became shorter and shorter as the years went by. Familiarity factors in. Yeah. So I think the YouTuber who I watched it from is Veritaserum or something. He has pretty cool videos. Like, I enjoy watching his videos from time to time. It really forces me to think a lot, you know. Veritasium? I can't pronounce his name. But the scary thing about that is that because each year that passes by is worth less and less in our brain's capacity to handle it, that just means that, like, you know, I presume by the time I hit 50, the next thing I know, I'm on my deathbed, something like that. And on my deathbed, I'll be like, hang on, I was just 50 like 2 years ago. What happened? How did I retire and now I'm on my deathbed? You know, something like that. That would be a very scary process, you know. So, Graham, I was under the impression that, like, in the US, a 1 hour trip is not considered long. Like where I am in Singapore, 1 hour is considered very long. Like driving for more than 20 minutes is when I speak to my Aussie friends and I tell them that, oh, I have to drive for like an hour, it's such a long drive. Most people would say that that's a normal kind of duration for a drive. But growing up, 1 hour drives very, very irregular. "50 years old, I'm almost 49. Forget it, I can't drive my car." Hey, I didn't mean to call you out, Trevor. You've got 1 year left of youth. To me, the scariest outcome would be to run out of items on a bucket list before dying. Wouldn't that mean that you have had a very well-lived life? Or you mean the scary part is that there's nothing to look forward to anymore? It would be. I was just thinking what my bucket list items would be. I actually haven't thought about it yet. Rob Coombs, what happens to our tower when we die? I need to put the login details in my will so they can be passed over. What succession planning for the tower? So your kids can continue spending money on stones. Oh right, 1800 waves. Alright, let's check out the bracket again. Okay, Captain C, we are beating him. Lord Ashdoll, we're beating him as well. We're beating this guy. Gonzo, we're beating him. Banjo, yep. Livius, Killavan. Yeah, I think we are beating all of these guys. Let's check at the bottom. Guys, this is like, oh, this is a very good tournament bracket. Yeah, we don't need to worry about anyone. This is a very good tournament bracket. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Life is good. Nothing to look forward to combined with me having zero creativity at that point. Depends on where in America you live. In the eastern half, hang on, east is the right side. Okay, on the right side of America, an hour is about medium, but on the west, that's a short trip because the states are huge. Yeah, that's true. Need to set up a special trust that can only be used for stone packs to ensure they keep buying. Wow, Rob. I mean, it's great that you are so financially set that you can set aside a trust for buying stone packs. Donate some money. Mice? Is it mice? Yeah, mice. Sorry, my thing is, my screen is really small. Because I don't have my big screen, I'm just using my laptop to stream now. So it's really hard to see the words on my screen. No, you tell your kids your inheritance went into the towers, so here you go. Well, I mean, that would be fine if we could actually sell our tower accounts, but I think Tech Tree Games frowns upon it. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind it. Like if one day I get really tired of this game, or I feel like I want to move on to something else, I wouldn't mind, like if I was just a player thinking about selling my account, given how much I had spent on it. But I don't think they allow that, so probably not, you know. So what would I do? Would I do a giveaway? Or does this mean that I actually have to think about having kids now, so that there can be succession planning in place? Am I moving back to Singapore due to better brackets? Casey, I mean, the last tournament, I had a pretty horrible bracket as well. Third place, 4.6k, 4.5k waves. No, 4.4k waves. It was a PB, third place. It's about time I got a good bracket, you know. Sure, the good brackets would exist in Melbourne as well. I just haven't found them yet. They can continue to live in the house so long as they can keep buying stone packs every month rather than pay rent. Like the old Tamagotchis, they became pretty valuable at one point if you nurtured it for temp. Really? I didn't know about that, Rob. So I knew about Tamagotchis back in the day. But I didn't know that they became valuable. So like people actually sold their Tamagotchis? Like what did we use them for? We just fed them and wiped up their feces, right? That's what I remember about those things. I never really played with one of them. My sold your wild account back in the day. Wow, okay. To be fair, I would have bought a World of Warcraft account, if I could afford one, just so that I don't have to level all the characters up. But I think these days they allow you to buy like the boost your character or something, to just boost a character you want to play to max level, or something similar to that. Especially like before an expansion, you know. It would have been a lot easier to do that. But at least for World of Warcraft, you know, I don't have the skill to play. I'm terrible at DPS. Yeah, I guess so, Rob. You had to keep it alive. You had to feed it and clean its poop up. Even so, I believe the Tamagotchis would have had less time investment in them than the amount of time investment that we put in this game. Like, imagine at the start, like, you check back every 5 minutes to click on the gems. That is dedication, you know. I'm more Dark Souls heart sensibility rather than instant power. So what do you mean, Graham, by Dark Souls heart? I've never played Dark Souls before, so I don't think I understand the reference. Hang on, my health is not full yet. How long does it take for your health to max out in tournaments? It's only at 5x currently. Why is my health not maxing out? Is it because I'm killing enemies too far away from my death wave? Huh. Maybe, alright, maybe I turn off the poison swamp stun first to allow enemies to come in closer. I can't play that game any longer. My favorite game, but it takes me down an even worse rabbit hole than this one. Dark Souls? Okay. Yeah, I've heard things about it that it's really difficult. I like games where it's very brainless. I don't need to think too much. No stress, you know. I don't like responsibility. Casey, Death with Health takes a long time to... Oh, okay, I see that now. But it's crazy, we are already at wave 2000. How do EHP builds actually work in this case? You can't get a reasonable amount of health multiplier. Even when you reach like 2000 waves. I presume that's because I'm using Intro Sprint Mastery. If I wasn't using Intro Sprint Mastery, I would have a much higher health multiplier, I presume. But how would an EHP player function in Legends? And by that I mean, like, you know, some players have gone very heavy into EHP and they're able to get like 1000-ish waves in Legends. But there's no way that you're... Unless I'm doing something very wrong, maybe they are using like Death Wave cooldown on their modules or something to get the health pool to max out quicker. Dark Souls Heart is a reference to the old school. You die, you lose everything. You are carrying and go back to 0. Oh, so like hardcore mode. Okay, like hardcore mode in Diablo. Oh man, that's terrible. Plus each choice carries significance later in the game. Oh, that's rough. That's very rough. For EHP and Legends, Death with Health is least valuable due to the time to ramp up. Yeah, I can see that now, Casey. So I presume if you are running an EHP build, and you are not able to get a high wave count, what you would actually want is a 37-second death wave. So in your core module, you will need the 13 seconds death wave cooldown and the +3 death wave quantity. Then maybe 15 degree spotlight bonus, chain lightning quantity, and the chronophil ones. That would be like the EHP roles for Legends, I presume. That way you can probably get your coin up a bit, or your health up a bit faster. Dark Souls takes replayability to a new level with their reincarnation system, When new life gets benefits based on your previous playthroughs. So like what? Like a prestige level, Graham? Man, I hope they never introduce the prestige system into the tower. That would be crazy. Yeah, I think that would be it for me. I wouldn't prestige my tower. Can you imagine like you have to prestige your tower and then re-unlock GT Deathwave Black Hole all over again? Man, that's going to be brutal. So on the day that you go box everything, you prestige your tower, and you start off with like, I don't know, I don't even know how they're going to enable that prestige thing. Maybe your coin bonus jumps up by like a factor of 10 or 15 or something. I get to rebuild all the Ultimate Weapon Plus again because I didn't have enough fun the first time. Yeah, Casey, that would be just like that would be a complete nightmare. Only way that will work is they refund all your stones and resources. Yeah, maybe like, or maybe if you prestige, you end up playing in like the Tower 2.0. You know, the only way to get to the Tower 2.0 is if you complete the Tower 1.0, and you know, you go box everything. And then you are able to go to the Tower 2.0. And in the Tower 2.0, everything is skilled up. We'll get free up mastery today to enable 30-meter range farming. Still skeptical about the coin games, but I'll feel like I'm missing out. Rob, don't be skeptical about the coin games. You're going to get a lot more coins with 30-meter farming. I presume your coin per minute is going to go up by like at least 50-60%. At least. But let me know how it goes. They're definitely not about the refund resources live, yeah. You know, prestiging allows you to get blue stones. Like rare stones. And in the Tower 2.0, it's going to be all rare stones, and you play that, and eventually we get the Tower 3.0, right, which is the grandchild version of the tower, right? So that's when, you know, we pass it down through generations long enough, our grandkids get to play with the tower with epic stones, the purple stone version. So man, that would be brutal. There's a storyline in Dark Souls which you can complete with various outcomes. After you finish the game, your character can reincarnate from the beginning, level 0, with new special abilities. Oh cool, that's actually pretty interesting as a reward function, Graham. Now, are these abilities going to be like game changing in any way, or it's just like cosmetic abilities? I think someone said there was some sort of prestige mechanism on another tech tree game involving trading your cards in or something like that. I'm not sure about that. I tried the Idle Brick Breaker. I never really liked it. It would it just doesn't seem as interactive as the tower. So next update, do you think they are going to increase clicks on the current bots, or they might add another? Oh man, I don't want to think about the next update. we For bots, I don't think it's going to change anytime soon, because nobody would have maxed out all 4 bots yet. Nobody would for at least another year, I think. For the next update for the stones, I hope they revamp like smart missiles. I think that would be pretty decent. Mastery levels at some point would certainly be extended, like UW plus. Well, yeah, probably. So I think one of the problems that we are going to face very soon is that all the new labs are actually very long in duration. And it's going to probably be the case where, you know, we are not going to get much new features in terms of labs anytime soon. And the labs that we are going to be researching are going to be incremental gains at best. But the stone spending, I think, like if they wanted to introduce new stone sinks, they might have to. I really hope they don't do this, but they might have to put in like more GT plus levels again, or some stupid thing like that. You know, it's just going to be more of the same grind. Problem is, when they redo smart missiles, now you kick one of the current ones to the bottom, so now you are currently redoing them. I just don't want another big stone sink. S-mods is a crazy amount of new stone sink. Yeah, mice, definitely it's going to be another stone sink. So the thing about, like, you know, players who are in, like, think of Sky, right? From what I understand, he started off the version with something like 80,000 stones saved up. So when that happened, he probably just went to the S-mods tab, right? You just go here, or maybe 60,000 stones. I mean, it was a ridiculous amount of stones. And you just max out everything, right? You just start go boxing stuff here, and then he's just going to be spending the whole season just saving up stones. So when the developers come up with a new version, if they do not introduce any stone sinks, then these players at the top, who are obviously spending the most amount of money on the game, would have no incentives to I guess purchase more stone packs, because they already have so many stones, or they have no avenues to keep them entertained, and you don't want to run the risk of losing your biggest spending customers in this game, you know. So when they redo smart missiles, well, I think there's a difference, right? If they redid smart missiles, and it's not necessarily the case that they need to make it the best ultimate weapon, but they need to make it balanced with the other ultimate weapons. I think that's the most important thing. Right now, the gap between smart missiles and poison swamp and chain lightning, the gap between smart missiles, and the other two is just too big, so nobody is investing into it. But even if they closed up the gap to some degree, then at least that gives players an interesting choice on what to make. Am I okay sacrificing a bit of damage potential to go into smart missiles, just because I like the way the missiles explode and stuff like that? If they are able to do that, I think I wouldn't mind just swapping to smart missiles and playing with smart missiles and chain lightning, or smart missiles and poison swamp, as opposed to currently where everyone just has to kind of go with chain lightning and poison swamp. Rappaport says, Ryan, you should watch Tax replay from his live yesterday. Had a guest in Legends who had their death wave up past 1300, and he did a total of 2600 plus waves. Might be worth a watch. Okay, who was that? Who was his guest, Rappaport? Dr. Trashback, hello, how are you? 3 poison swamps. Yeah, I mean, I could technically get more. I think. Let me check. So right now my poison swamp duration is 92 seconds with a cooldown of 32 seconds. So I should be getting like 3 perma swamps typically. But that's the ultimate weapon duration battle condition today. So yeah, not really getting like the maximum coverage I would like to have. But Poison Swamp with Poison Swamp Plus, I think it's amazing. And mainly it's just because, if I've got very good coverage, then the moment the enemies get stunned up, the Poison Swamp Plus is going to start taking on them. And by the time they get to my tower, they probably have like 5 to 10 stacks of ticks on them, which helps with killing them a lot quicker later on. Guild season ends on 1st of February, probably when the new patch comes. I see. Ooh, I'm not looking forward to that, by the way, Casey. It's so stressful. I used Project Ren and I was surprised by how much damage was being done by electrons and Rend. Oh yeah, that is true. So I'm not sure if we can see this from here, but like with the new update, I think we can actually see our electrons damage. So yeah, look at this, right? My electrons damage 112 double A. It's a very significant amount of my orb damage, right? Just under 50% of my orb damage. It's pretty significant. And I presume as the wave count goes higher, it's going to be even better. Like, so orb damage in this case. Oh, hang on. So as the waves get larger, electron damage kind of falls off. So previously it was like close to 50%. Now it's like close to 30% of orb damage. Yeah. That's interesting. What about at 6.4k? So, 666. What an unlucky number. Versus 1.68. So yeah, about 30%. About 30% of my orb damage. 589. Yeah, Ryan, there was this guy in my bracket tied for me, so I had to go every step of the way to ensure I would win. That meant using chip assist and turning off CF plus when boss near fleets. Oh, that's the greenie style. That's what greenie does. So chip does better than Harmony Conductor in tournaments. And I presume that is entirely because you need the damage buff to kill the fleets. But with enough EHP, we don't have to worry too much about the overcharge, so you could kind of get away without the harmony conductor. Is my understanding correct? Rubber, hello, how are you? Good luck with your run as well. Hope you got a lucky bracket. Oh, Rubber, you had. Let me show you. This is the glorious bracket that I have. This guy, 176 waves, 66 waves, tier 21. Tier 21, 126 waves. Tier 21, 116 waves. And then it's tier 19. Tier 20. Tier 19. Tier 19. Oh, this is look at this glorious bracket. I think all I need to do is to get to like 4,000 waves. I'm very, very safe. I got a new personal best yesterday. Previous personal best was 1560 waves in Legends. Last night I got 1760 waves. Nice! Congratulations, Dr. Trashback. That's wonderful. 200 waves. PB. I spent some gems to gem rush Shatter Shots 4 and 5. Now on Gem Pool with only 10k gems. Happy. Graham, I mean 10k gems to you is like 50k gems to me, you know, given the rate at which you pull modules. So 10k gems is good, right? You have technically like almost 10 times my gems. They need to reduce basic ultimate weapon unlock cost to allow people access to UW Plus or S mods quicker and grow the base of players through quicker progress in the early or mid game. Yeah, I mean, the game has gone through so many iterations at this stage. It would be nice if players could catch up somehow. Maybe they can backload the cost of Ultimate Weapon Plus upgrades by reducing the upfront cost of unlocking the Ultimate Weapons. That's one way. Or they can make the upgrades more expensive. It would be very difficult for the later game players, or to find a balance for that, right? Because everyone sort of has different upgrade path. So I'm not sure how they are actually going to be able to balance this without at least one player in the community complaining about it. Chip is better only when bosses spawn every 5 waves or with basic ultimate. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Unfortunately, my chip is rolled for entirely for farming, so yeah, I mean, it's fine, it's fine. I think Harmony Conductor is good for me, just for the missing of the enemies. Probably with Tank Ultimate, like, damage would be more important though. But yeah, it's fine. We are going to be doing well in today's tournament. The bracket does look very good, Rubber. I'm so happy with the bracket. The ultimate weapon costs are one thing. It's the lap time relics event passes that are hard to ever catch up on. Yeah, that is very true, Casey. Gems we can buy. So lap time, lap time is not important. Relics, you play the game for a year, you probably catch up in terms of relics. But the event or bot upgrades, that is something that is very difficult to catch up. It was Tex and Master Chief. Tex ran a side-by-side stream. Nice. Master Chief, you were using EHP? What? I thought Master Chief was going very heavy glass cannon. Man, but guys, did you guys see Master Chief's ultimate weapon development? His ultimate weapons are better than mine. Like, almost every ultimate weapon is better than mine, I think. It's crazy. True, but mitigated if there's new stuff for late game players. Example was less complaining than I expected from people who had put all their stones into spotlight angle and made semi-redundant bias mods. Yeah, that's true. Hi Nu, how are you? Now the question is, if I were to quit my run at 4,000 waves, am I still going to get first? Maybe we will check back. Like, I mean, if you're doing tier 21 to wave 100-ish, how many waves can you get in Legends? I'm good. No, thanks. I have a I guess a happy problem today, in the sense that I'm having an easy bracket, so I think I might just end the run around like 4,000 waves, but I'm not sure if that would, you know, I don't want to get cocky and end the run too early and then someone catches up and I end up getting second place in a tournament where it's a guaranteed win for me. That's a good problem. It is. And the thing is, if I were to end the run like for that extra 500 waves, that would save all of us something like 35 to 40 minutes of time in this tournament, which is nice. But I'm afraid that I end up getting second place because of that. Or worse, third place. Oh my goodness. Rubber says don't quit early. Christian is a bad influence on you. Rubber, it's you know, it's really painful to do tournament runs. I kind of want to get away with as little waves as I can, if I'm going to be first place. Christian a bad influence? No way. Wait, hang on. Casey, did you get your account hacked by Christian? Nu says they agree with Rubber. Man, so Kristen must have hacked your account, Casey. Any sort of catch-up mechanism should require play and not be available. Respecting the time and effort current players have put in should be a priority. Yeah, I agree, Graham. I mean, so for me, I do think that it would be nice if the developers introduced a catch-up mechanic for players to kind of skim through the earlier content so that players can experience the newer versions of the game. So it would be very nice if the developers could somehow come up with a way to, you know, get players to Ultimate Weapon Plus a lot quicker. However, after getting to Ultimate Weapon Plus, then, you know, maybe it would cost very little stones to get to Ultimate Weapon Plus, but then you have to find a way to introduce those stones to other players, to the players after they hit Ultimate Weapon Plus. In a manner such that the upgrade cost is going to be exactly the same, as older players. Right, so it should cost the total amount of stones that it costs to unlock, let's say, every single ultimate weapon and get to GT plus 14 has to cost the same for every player. But if we allow players to get to ultimate weapon plus quicker, then at least players get to experience not having to do devil strategies for such a long time. Maybe they can try to move. They can try to pivot towards like black hole digester blender kind of strategies as quickly as possible and still make it work at the early game. You know, it would be nice. It would be nice. However, the gap between, you know, realistically speaking, if a player started playing today, and they bought every stone pack, they are not going to be catching up to me in terms of the progression anytime soon, right? It's going to be at least a year and a half before they would get to somewhere around where I'm at currently if they bought all the stone packs. It's I think I would be safe in that regard, right? Like my global rank is not going to drop by much. Casey's happy that they're Christian. Oh no. I think the whales put the most time in, though. That is probably true. I mean, and to be fair, a lot of the strategies that we see today, they would not exist because of the if not for the whales, right? So just because people are spending a lot of money on this game does not necessarily mean that they're pay to win, right? They're experimenting all of this stuff, and their strategies, they eventually trickle down to the players like us, and we are able to employ their strategies and use that in a way that kind of fits our own play style and mix and match what works for us the best. The only thing I think really sucks is the keys. The Legends climb gets harder every week. Only giving the top 15 puts them behind a wall. Yeah, that, I mean, so at least for the Harmony tree, I do believe that a lot of the Harmony tree upgrades should be easily accessible to players. And okay, I know what I'm about to say is going to sound very mean, but to be fair, the Harmony tree is not difficult to complete, and I can sort of understand where the developers are coming from a progression standpoint, because as long as the natural player base is increasing, like, take it from my own experience. The moment I started earning a good amount of keys in Legends, and by good amount, it's somewhere along the lines of, like, you know, I'm finishing about like 6th place, 8th place in tournament. This was all during the tournament playtesting series, that period of time. So you can check the videos that I made back then. I used to be getting between position 6 and 8 for most of my tournaments. At that stage, I was able to make good progress through the main Harmony tree. At that stage, I was still leveling up my masteries, mainly the damage masteries at that time. So I think for most players now, if you are able to be leveling your damage masteries, you know, you've got Super Tower, Damage Demon mode leveled up to almost complete stage, you should be earning keys as well, and you should be able to rank to like position 8 and get a decent amount of keys as well. So I don't think the overall difficulty actually changed by much. but I may be wrong. There's a big disconnect between me and where I was in like half a year ago or something now. But my point is this, right? Like, players have to get to that threshold where they start dabbling with card masteries and they start making good progress on their card masteries before they start earning keys. And I think even if you are a free-to-play player, by the time you get to that stage, as long as the game is expanding, you will naturally see that you start earning keys as well. Hopefully that is the case. Well, maybe, if you are a free-to-play player within reason, like, if you've been playing for like 4 years already, you might be at that position where you are able to start work on your card masteries. If you just started playing for 1 year and you are thinking about getting keys as a free-to-play player, that is very, very unlikely to happen, right? Even players who have played for 1 year and they're buying stone packs, it's not guaranteed that they can get keys reliably. So, the expectations have to be adjusted accordingly. One idea I would something along the lines of Premium Pass, where you could give everyone some extra stones and resources based on their progress. That wouldn't be a bad idea, Graham. I mean, it's a nice feature. Mice Nuts says, not about the difficulty to complete it, it's getting the resources to complete it. Yeah, so getting the resources is it's kind of fixed for everyone, right? You kind of have to play it that way. Sure, the paying aspect for stones kind of gets you there a bit faster. And I try not to place too much of an emphasis on stones or on stone buying. Mainly because I don't want. As much as I say that there is a website, right, guys? As much as I say that, if you check out most of my earlier videos, I try my best not to talk about, like, yeah, you need to spend XXX amount of stones and spend this amount of money in order to be able to progress to this stage. I've never been trying to get people to spend more in this game. But instead, I would just briefly talk about like the mechanics of how certain aspects of this game function, and then leave it to the player to decide whether or not they want to end up spending more money on the game. The question is, whether or not I think spending on this game is worthwhile. Yes and no. Yes and no. So my view is that if I were to spend on this game, I would want to spend it on accumulation of resources, which namely is getting more lifetime coin. So if whenever I spent money in the past, I would have tried to pivot that spending towards econ focus items. And I wouldn't have really spent my stones, especially from stone pack purchases, on getting more damage. Typically that was the case. Now, I'm not sure where the line became a bit blurry. I presume it was around the start of version 27. It could have been that, or it could have been also the fact that now I have the creator code, so I do get some income from people purchasing stone packs. So I've become a bit more liberal with the way I spend my stones these days, and I'm now pushing into a bit more damage, a bit more health, and I haven't really been touching like the econ aspect of things. Now, whenever I think about that, it makes me feel a bit dirty. I don't really want to spend stones on non-econ related stuff. But perhaps it's just the way version 27 is. There's just so much stone sinks, and I'm now trying to be a bit more competitive in tournaments and stuff, so less econ related spending. I'm still not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. Puts on economist hat. The issue with keys is the increasing returns they produce. The rich get richer, which increases this disparity between the haves and the have-nots. Yeah, so it's the middle income trap. Or the poverty trap, right? Let's see. So the rich get richer. Yeah. So if you were where you were, then when you got your first keys, you would not be getting them now. The Asmod power was a huge spike to Legends. Yeah, probably mice nuts. No doubt, Asmods have been a very powerful introduction in this game. Mainly for just the initial power spikes that just having a second module would possess. Right. So yeah, unfortunately there's no real getting away around all of this kind of things, I think the cost of Ultimate Weapon 6 to 9 or Spotlight 4 just seems out of sync with the new content. Made sense when they were endgame upgrades, but now it seems too much to me. Yes, I completely agree with that statement, Rob. DTS, hello, how are you? 103Q health. 103Q health. No, I'm at 68Q health. Oh, wall health, yeah, I'm at 103. EHP, guys, EHP. In my opinion, it's the first keys that is the bigger problem. It promotes spending more than anything. Yeah, it's such a deep hole. So every now and then, like some random person pops up in on stream and they ask about this game, and like my deep down my advice to them is get out while you still can. But there's always a chance they might not like the game, so might as well just let them try it. And if they like it, well, my creator code is here. Rubber says, I realized based off when I started and the amount I spend, I will likely never get to the point where I regularly get first place in Legends. I'm okay with this, and I'm happy where my tower is. So Rubber, that's a nice mindset to have. However, don't forget that if the game continues expanding, and I think this is the main thing, if the game keeps on expanding, then you just playing the game the way you are currently playing will eventually get you to a point where you are always going to be better than a lot of the player base. And so at some point you might start dipping into first place territory. Would that be a bit less likely than where I'm at? Yes, but it might still happen. Sign up Sherbon, hello, how are you? Got over 1500 waves in plat, moving and still not moving up, so sad. Hang in there, buddy, hang in there. Get more ELS levels. You're going to eventually make it out of platinum. I can get cool upgrades each week or 2 weeks with 750 stones versus weeks of saving or grinding on 300 tournament stones. That is very nice that you can get so many upgrades, Rob, with 750 stones per tournament. Realistically, 750 stones in S-mods is 2 clicks or 3 clicks to me. Not much at all. No, not 2 clicks, but 3 to 4 clicks of S-mods. It's really painful. Graham says, I look forward to when I can reliably stay in Legends and then finally start getting keys. Nice. Labor versus Capital. What is this? Solo Swan model? Robert says, enjoy the coin. That's true. Robert, I agree. There's so many quality of life mechanics behind that Legend key paywall. Damage per meter, op adjustment, auto restart, and so on. Yeah, mice that the. So those upgrades are very nice, especially in the Harmony tree. Power tree is nice, but it's kind of like you're pushing the. Okay, so when we are doing our farming runs, right? Let's say you use zero strategy, so you're just doing Blender and you get GT plus level 14. You are going to get a pretty decent amount of coin as well, right? But then you now start thinking about maybe going to minimum range farming, and then maybe your coin per minute squeezes out a bit more. You turn off your Chronofuel Plus to squeeze out that last bit of extra coin per minute, and so on. That's how the power tree is like you're just squeezing out the extra last bit of power from your tower. The Harmony tree, however, and specifically what I'm referring to is the add gem stacking and auto restarts. That is the real game changer for this game. Auto demon mode's nice, auto nuke is nice, but the auto restart is one of the main things, I would say. Even with like the op slider, you can kind of get away with it because it's okay to play at 69.5 meter range if you really had to, but especially once if you're away from your computer all the time, just having the peace of mind that your game will just automatically restart, that is so good. But you're still getting clicks on something each week or a new mastery versus grinding for weeks on far less stone income for Spotlight 4 while you read about cook as mods. That's true. Rob, are you at the point where you are farming for Spotlight 4? If so, I honestly felt very underwhelmed with my Spotlight 4 upgrade. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's nice, but it didn't really do much for me, damage wise and coin wise, back in the day. Now if you compare how much stones that is needed versus how many levels of GT plus you can get, before your GT plus stone count costs more than Spotlight 4, I would prefer going for GT plus as opposed to Spotlight 4, or more levels into GT plus. Oh, not you, okay, so that's perfectly fine then. Yeah, I mean, some of the earlier game upgrades, like Spotlight 4, it used to be like end game upgrade to get Spotlight 4. In today's context, that 2,500 stones probably not very worthwhile. Getting 2 S-mod slots unlocked would probably be more worthwhile than spending 2,500 stones on Spotlight 4, I presume. Oh no, I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce your name. AR3. Hello, how are you? I got auto restart last week. It's the best thing that happened to me in this game. I know, right? It's like breaking free from the Matrix. You are no longer bound by your phone. That's the best feeling ever. Pandu, hello, how are you? I'm good. If you could start over with all the stones and knowledge, would you build your tower differently? Rappaport, yes and no. Yes and no. So here is what I would do differently. I probably would not be getting Inner Landmine Plus. I probably would just keep my damage at 2x, right, and leave this quantity at 3. The only thing I intend to use Inner Landmines for is just for the stun effect when I put on Space Displacer. So however many stones that is, I don't think it would be many, couple of 100 stones, less than 1,000 stones definitely. For this upgrade, it was 1250 stones, so let's say 2,000 stones in total. That would be something that I would not have spent on. Death Wave damage, I would also keep this at 2x. I wouldn't have bothered with the Death Wave farming altogether, but everything here would be fine. Now for CF plus and CF, I wouldn't change any of my spending here. Smart Missile damage, Smart Missiles is here. Smart Missile quantity, so probably with the Inner Landmine stuff, I would put it into Smart Missile quantity, and it's not because it's good, it's just because I like to see the green explosions on my screen. It's something that I have, I've mentioned this before, I have very deep sentimental value with Smart Missiles. So I wouldn't mind bringing it to quantity 15, 16, keeping the quantity the same, maybe another click or two into damage, just so that it goes in line with my Chain Lightning stuff. So, maybe a bit of inefficiencies here, but I would still play it the same way. Now, Spotlight. My Spotlight angle is actually trash. So, again, I still need upgrades over here. I don't think I would have spent them any differently. My Black Hole is not maxed out over here as well, so I still need to get more Black Hole size. So, technically, even though I've spent a lot of stones on stuff already, if they offered me an ultimate weapon respec, I wouldn't really be able to reshuffle more than, like, say 2,000 stones around. Now, if I wanted to be as efficient as possible, then yes, perhaps I might reshuffle some of my Smart Missile stones into Poison Swamp and maybe Chain Lightning and stuff. But sentimental value, right? We've got nice big green explosions on our screen. It looks very nice, like fireworks. I wouldn't mind keeping it, just for a bit less damage. 82 degrees with Asmod. Man, Rob, you have bigger spotlight angle. Just putting yourself back into mid-game mindset. Don't do that, Rob. Don't do that. We are already past that point, We should just be glad that we are past that point and enjoy the fresh air at the top. Graham, you have to be part of a live stream in 10 minutes. Oh, cool. Thanks for joining, Graham, and all the best with your live stream. Pandu says, I'm debating between S core rarity increase or unlock and work on CF plus or IRM plus. What would I suggest? Okay, Pandu. So, I guess my question to you would be, what are you trying to achieve, or what goal are you trying to achieve because the advice would probably differ, right? If you are needing the core rarity increase, is it because you need a specific core for more damage for tournaments or for farming, or is it that you need the extra CF plus for farming, or in general? I think it's a bit difficult to just give advice like that. Perhaps you can share with me about what you're trying to achieve in terms of your focus. Is it for farming or for tournaments? Rob says, plus I'll be laughing when Smart Missile gets reworked and becomes good again. Yeah, yes and no, Rob. My Smart Missiles is still actually pretty weak. 11 quantity, was it 502x damage? Yeah. I think with like 1 month worth of stones, someone would be very close to my level with Smart Missiles, yeah. So it's not that big of a bump. But it is nice to see like so many green explosions on the screen, And I can't wait for the day where I can start dabbling back with ultimate weapons once again. Pandu says, my DC is 5 on 8, so I'm running Ancestral OC Ohm chip as main with Mythic Plus Dimension Core for the effect. I'm trying to get better results in tournament. Currently, my personal record is top 3,000. I see. I would go for CF Plus, Pandu. So I don't have the core unique effect boost beyond epic, so it doesn't, and it's not bothering me much in farming or in tournaments, but of course if you had a better unique effect rarity, it would be better. However, CF Plus is very useful for tournaments. There is a hidden slow mechanic with CF Plus, so the higher your CF Plus level, the more effective time the enemies take to reach your tower, which means that you technically have more time to damage them and more controls over the enemies. It's very, very nice. Plus, it's also very useful to have for farming. Most glass cannon strategies do use quite a bit of CF Plus until very much later. AKZ, hello, how are you? I'm about to beat you at 2637 waves. Oh, well, I mean, it's great that you got to 2637. Is that a PB for you? Tabito, hello, how are you? What's my target priority for this tournament? That's a good question. I should have actually adjusted it. No, I can't remember what the conditions are. So knockback, enemy speed, tank ultimate. Alright, so I presume we go range enemies up ahead and fast enemies. So we don't want range enemies to shoot us. We don't want fast enemies with the knockback resistance to get us as well. And then we are going to go for I think we do range fast closest. Bosses should be taken care of with my orbs entirely later on. And if it's closest, at least I get bounce shots and whatnot on the enemies. So I should be able to take out the elites quite easily. Closest, just because later on with tank ultimate, it's a bit dangerous. But yeah, I think that would be my target priority for today. I'm transitioning to glass cannon farming, still not there yet. 280 trillion coin per hour as GC versus, so I need more damage and card slots to get there. I think I got 18 right now. Right, so Pandu, there might be a couple of reasons why you are getting less coin per hour as glass cannon versus EHP. Now, number one, if you switch to glass cannon and you don't have enough damage, obviously you're going to get a lot lower wave counts. So if if you're really getting like thousands of wave less as glass cannon, then yeah, that would explain your coin per hour fall. However, if you are maybe losing like 500-600 waves, and your coin per hour has dropped so significantly, it's probably not indicative that you are lacking in damage. Instead, what you are lacking is, and I think this might be hard to hear, is you're lacking in death wave cooldown and death wave quantity. Now, why is that the case? If your death wave cooldown gets lower, then you are basically tagging more enemies with your death waves. And the problem with glass cannon is that if you kill the enemies too quickly, your coin per hour, your coin per minute is going to go down. So you know, the econ aspect, from an econ perspective, getting higher uptime on all your coin multipliers is probably going to get you a lot more coin, and it's actually quite necessary for glass cannon builds to have high uptime on your econ ultimate weapons, given how fast we kill enemies. And tier 14, 4,500 waves. Yeah, so if you are able to hit 4,500 waves, Pandu, damage is not your issue, I think, in tier 14. Of course, there's so many different things to say, right? Like this, it depends on your masteries and all of that. And, you know, without getting into the details, it's probably not... it's probably not that you don't have enough damage, I think. It might be that you don't have enough uptime on your ultimate weapons, your econ ultimate weapons, to make glass cannon work for you. Yeah, I might put some clicks into death wave cooldown and quantity. Yeah, good idea. I mean, sort out the econ stuff and then it's really easy to pivot after. Death wave is the only issue. Yeah, and it might not seem like much, but it's a 2.5x multiplier. And in my farming runs, I'm getting something like, I think it's 90-ish% uptime on my death wave. So, you know, that allows me to have like 90% of my enemies being tagged by that 2.5x multiplier. If that was only 50%, 50% uptime, then only half my enemies are being tagged by that 2.5x multiplier, which means that I lose out on 2.5 times coins for half of my run. So yeah, the death wave uptime is probably something you might want to look into. Rob, do I know what percent of enemies I'm tagging with extra orbs? We can check it out actually. I haven't looked at it, so let's look at a more recent run like this one over here. So total enemies 805,000, Enemies tagged by Death Wave. Tagged by Death Wave 770,000. So yeah, about 80. What is it? 770 versus 805,000. More than 90% of my enemies. Now with orbs, let's see. Tagged by orbs. Enemies hit by orbs 642,000. So about 80% of enemies hit by orbs. Oh. Extra orbs for. So Rob, I think the extra orb mastery applies to all orbs, right? So extra orb mastery says that enemies hit by orbs drop bonus coins. So that means that in this run, each of the 642,000 enemies that were hit by my orbs were giving me the coin bonus. I seem to be stuck at 55 to 60%. Is that so? You are not using 30-meter range, right, Rob? You're using 69.5. Now the orb speed. Orb speed is a fixed number, right? So my orb speed might be very similar to yours. However, because my radius, my attack range is smaller, right? My orbs are spinning around a smaller circumference. So for a given orb speed, my orbs would be spinning a lot faster than somewhere further out. And so probably that's why I'm getting more enemies being tagged by the orbs. So, based on... Well, it's like a lesson in trigonometry, right? So the area of a circle is pi r square. No, yeah. The area of a circle is pi r square. What's the area, the circumference of a circle? Something pi d, right? Like 2 pi d or something like that. So if the diameter is 30 meters versus 60.5 meters, then the circumference of the smaller circle is going to be a lot smaller. So for a given orb speed, I'm going to be spinning my orbs a lot quicker around this small circle than if they were a bigger circle. And probably that's why you're getting something like 50% orbs, enemies hit by orbs, but my orb enemies hit would be a bit higher than yours. Now, so that also plays a role, right? Like when we are looking at smaller range, we are actually able to hit the bosses a lot more with our orbs than if we were at a larger range. However, the fact that we are at a smaller range means that the boss has a lot less travel time to our tower. So if it's like 30-meter range, by the time your orbs start hitting the boss is almost hitting your tower. So you end up losing your wall a lot more frequently than if it was 69.5. Have I ever tested how much difference orb size makes? Not really. So if you are using 30-meter range, you actually want your orbs to be at least 1.7. That's the magic number, at least 1.7 on orb size. Because what happens at 1.7 orb size is if the boss was right at your wall, right, your orbs would still be able to hit it. So that's the sweet spot for orbs. And of course, if you have it bigger, it's better, right? You can hit the boss from slightly further out with your orbs. But at least 1.7 on the orbs. That ensures that sometimes if like the wall invincibility is up and your wall is around and the boss is just stuck at your wall, your orbs would still be able to catch it. Alright, let's see how the bracket is doing actually. Have we already won the bracket? Oh, we have already won the bracket. Okay, so let me just take a picture of this. I want to make sure that they are not moving in their wave count. So if we get, let's check back at wave 3.5k, and if their waves are not changing, I think we can end the run at 3.5k waves. At this stage, no. At this stage, KC 2.7k is a bit too cocky. A bit too cocky. This, this is like a moment where it reminds me of those like YouTube videos of people who celebrated too early at times. I don't want to be one of those people. And then last minute tomorrow when I wake up, oh no. Second place or third place. So I just noticed that when we were looking at even tournaments at the starting period of version 27 a couple of months back, when I hit 3000 waves, enemies were at one-ish AA health or something, and that's when I died. But right now the wave health is 1.5d. That's like one order of magnitude less in health. So nice. Ooh, 1460 gems. Can I buy anything? Should I gem rush my mastery? I don't think I need to gem rush my mastery today. Because the bracket looks easy. So I guess let's just pull some modules. Yeah, let's buy some modules. Feeling we are already so lucky with the bracket, we might get lucky with module pulls. Nope. Nope. Oh, we got one shrink ray. Okay, and one more final pull. I think we keep oh nice. Orbital. That is actually good. That is actually good. Look at that, we've got, check it out guys. Shrink ray at 4-star, orbital augment at 2-star. Nice. What a nice day today. I love it. 1,000 gems, two epics. Not only two epics, we get 2 stars, and we have a good tournament. Right, let's save this 460 gems. So I know the secret now, guys. You got to start streaming. Like you start your tournament at what time was it? Like 2 hours ago, like past midnight in Singapore. And then after that, midway through the tournament, just spend a bit on module pools, and that is the secret sauce. So, and actually now I'm curious, how far away am I from 5-starring? Right, Shrink Ray is the only canon module that I have left. So 2 more copies to complete all my cannons at 5-star. My armor modules are actually quite weak at this stage. I mean, I don't need any of this at 5-star, so that's fine. I technically already have my Black Hole Digester at 5-star. I'm not sure if I told you guys this. I got my 5-star Black Hole Digester. So I technically don't need this as well. But I would like a second Primordial Collapse and a second Dimension Core. That would be very nice to have. Do I really need it? No, probably not. Technically, that means that, I don't really need to pull any modules anymore. I can sort of get away with what I already have. Yeah, Casey. I remember that as well. So I struggled so hard to get Ancestral Black Hole Digester back then. I mean, given you have just seen how many 5-stars I have, right? The number of dupes that I pulled before getting my last Black Hole Digester copy, which wasn't very long ago. There we go. So it was just like 1 week ago where I maxed out my Black Hole Digester at 5-star. It was a long journey, and I had so many dupes for like Generator. Look at my Generator levels compared to my Cannon and Armor. Right, so Core is at 206, 201. Generator is at 209, 201. And mainly all of this Generator levels came from just shattering copies of Galaxy Compressor, shattering copies of Singularity Harness. I think I must have shattered, like, between those 2 modules alone, at least 9 copies. Yeah. I shattered so many G-Comps. I even did one on JP's stream. That was the first time I shattered the G-Comp on stream. Someone made a meme out of it. AI generated my picture and made me smile. Rob says, why settle for 2? Need 1 for farming, 1 for an experimental ILM build. For when ultimate weapon duration battle consists are present. 1 for... Rob, that's crazy. 4 dimension cores? I mean, rolling 1 core module is bad enough. Imagine trying to roll 4 dimension cores. Oh my god. Nah. Synapse, don't say shatter Galaxy Compressor. Are you having trouble finding any G-comps? It's stuck at legendary. Oh no. I wish I could have given you my galaxy compressor dupes. I remember, Casey, you were so willing to give me black hole digester back then. It's keeping you from permanent black hole in tournament. Yeah, I mean, don't worry too much about the permanent black hole signups, Ribbon. Check out my black hole, it's not permanent. Perma chronofill, you can get it without the GCOM, so... and in fact, that should be a priority. For tournaments, specifically. But, yeah, permanent black hole not too important in tournament. Don't stress out if you don't have it. I had an ancestral black hole digester back then, and I don't even use it. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, hopefully you're using it now, Casey. I'm so far from Chrono, I'm like a year of collecting stones away. Yeah, hang in there. Enjoy the process. Like, so I think in tournaments like this, notice how far away most of the tanks are dying during Tank's Ultimate from my range line. It's mainly because just Poison Swamp Plus is really doing its work. I stunned the tank enemy quite far away from my tower, and then it's just Poison Swamp Plus is just taking off damage, and before they reach my range line, they are dead. So if we actually check out the projectiles that I have launched, it shouldn't be very high, right? Like, so at this wave count, 63 or 64,000 projectiles. Now if we look at my black hole, no, swamp damage, 39 AA, compared to my chain lightning, of course chain lightning is still more, but my swamp damage is actually quite significant for today's tournament because of the Poison Swamp Plus. I'm probably better served at doing that IOM strat than going for Chrono, like I said. Still no champs. Yeah, try it out. Try it out, Synapse Ribbon. No harm trying. I just thought Singularity Harness was better back then. I see. Singularity Harness might have been better if like you didn't have high free upgrade percent. But in the long run, probably not. Mireille, hello, how are you? And Singapore is great. It's been nice spending time with friends and families. I enjoy life back in Singapore a bit too much for my liking, to be honest. So it's currently Thursday. I'm supposed to be doing some work. I have a meeting tomorrow on Friday with my supervisor. But I haven't done any work all week, so you know, I don't know what we're gonna be talking about, but I need to get some work done. But yeah, it's been a wonderful trip back so far. I wasn't at the economy at that point for masteries. Yeah. So you know, I can't really remember life without masteries, and I'm sure this is not how it really went back in the day, but the way I remember it, was I was at a point where I wasn't affording masteries, and then suddenly I was affording a lot of masteries. Now, clearly that's not how it happened, but I think what might have really happened was initially when I was first able to afford masteries, it took a very long time for each in between each mastery level, that I just kind of forgot about, you know, the pain that it took to get a mastery level. And then at some point I started getting better and better econ with more GT plus and so on, and I was starting to be able to afford like 1 mastery per month, and then suddenly 2 masteries a month. Oh, hang on, did my internet just crash? Did my internet just crash? Or did the stream just crash for you guys? So I saw the YouTube thing that it was loading for a bit. Audio is fine, but video is laggy. Let me check my OBS. Oh yeah, my frames just dropped suddenly. Hang on. It should be a bit better now. The frames or the upload speed is getting back on track. It kind of dropped a little bit back then. Oh, it's dropping again now. Strange. Yeah, okay. So the drop frames has dropped from like 50%, 59% down to like 35% now. So hopefully it gets more stable. Yeah, so this is the problem with my internet in Singapore. It's actually a pretty decent internet. It's just that I'm pretty far away from my router, from where my room is. So the internet connection is not the best. So like even when I'm like trying to watch videos on YouTube, sometimes it takes a while to load. Now, anyhow, we are closing in on 3,000 waves. So when we hit 3,000 waves, let's check out the bracket. Hopefully it's an easy bracket. Hopefully it's an you know, they have already all ended their run, and then we can, you know, take a chance. Take a chance and end the run early. It would be very nice to have like a 3,000 wave tournament. Okay, so 5 more waves to go. Oh, we just tapped that overcharge. That was nice. Okay, so right, we are at 3,000 waves. Let's check out the bracket now. So previously, Captain C was at 2677 waves, and they are still at 2677 waves. So I think that means that we are safe to go, right? So I think this would be a good stopping point for the tournament. They haven't increased their wave count for quite some time. Now, just to be safe, I think we do like 3.5k waves and then we wrap up. Thanks for joining the stream, Casey. All the best for your tournament, and I'll catch you this weekend. Now, also, I do need to use the washroom, so be right back. Alright, we're back. No, I think in terms, I was just thinking earlier, in terms of the tournament luck that we have today, it's like double lucky, because not only is the tournament an easy tournament, we have an easy bracket. So even though players are getting higher wave count, the wave count of the players in my bracket is generally lower, so we don't have to do even more waves, which is nice. But yeah, I think just to be safe, we do 3.5k waves and we wrap up from there. Oh yeah, so I think I didn't mention this because I haven't done a progress update for some time, but in the last tournament I got the last quantity of Chain Lightning. So Chain Lightning is now finally fully maxed. I believe I am 2 or 3 clicks away from maxing this out. Hang on, let me see, 24.5%. So 30, Yeah, so I think I am 2 clicks away from maxing my chain lightning, or go boxing my chain lightning chance. And then finally I'll be done with the chain lightning stuff. I think it's helped with my farming a little bit. So getting that extra chain lightning damage has probably helped with just applying shock and everything to my enemies. Just for that extra bit of damage. However, it hasn't really done anything for my coin economy. Maxwell, hello, how are you? I think after this tournament, I will probably just max out the chain lightning chance, and then from there on, it's probably going to have to be S mods. I'll probably have to go back to S mods. I think the plan would be to work on go boxing this too. Either that, or maybe alternating between. So I think what I'll do is one tournament, maybe 1 click here, a couple of clicks here. The next tournament, 1 click here, a couple of clicks here, and I'll just keep rotating this way until these 2 are go box. So that way I have my damage would constantly be increasing as well, from the core multiplier efficiency and from the cannon multiplier efficiency. And I think that extra damage would just help with naturally progressing in terms of my wave count in farming and so on. So having the ability to farm to like 7,000 waves, I think would be ideal for tier 18 farming for me. And when I can get there, I can then probably turn off Chronofuel Plus for a bulk of the run and get a decent amount of coins too. So I think that would be the plan moving forward. Unless the developers change something, they drop some additional update feature that requires me to pivot into something else. But I think at least for the EHP masteries that we have unlocked, we are in a good spot. And with I guess the next milestones, again we'll be continuing with S mods, but there's also a couple of masteries that I need to complete. I think next month I'll probably just unlock like 2 or 3 masteries and start work on the S mod stuff once again for labs. That would probably be a safer option here. I would say though that having that extra attack speed has been helping a lot with, like, even in my intro sprint during farming runs, it's just been helping with reducing the amount of chip damage I take, mainly just because more attack speed equals killing enemies faster for a given amount of damage that we are doing. No, a few streamers have been talking about metal sync. What's a metal sync? Metal sync. Medals, hang on, medals are for our bots. Where are bots? Bots are here. So what are the medal syncs? Like the bonus multiplier and the duration multiplier. But what are they talking about in terms of that thing specifically? No. Rob says, does the attack speed sub effect on cannon become a lot less valuable versus the other options once you get the attack speed mastery? That's a good question. I'm not sure actually. So this thing adds base attack plus 5 attack speed. Attack speed card increases my tower attack speed by a multiple of 2.15x. So I presume it would be, my base attack speed would be, you know, if it was 10, it would be 21.5 times 1.24. That would be my final attack speed. But if I had that plus 5 attack speed substat, it would be 15 times 2.15 times 1.24. So then I would get 5 times 2.15 times 1.24 attack speed. So my attack speed should go up very significantly. If anything, I think it makes it more valuable. Kind of like how the damage per meter substat is really good when we get range mastery. Oh, so they've been sitting on a lot of medals, nothing to spend it on. Really? I mean, have they completed all their unlocks? Honestly, if I was done with, like, okay, let's say we get to this point here. Where is it? Let's say we get to this point where this thing is go box, this thing is go box, this thing is go box. I wouldn't mind just unlocking Golden Bot and try to go box it and just go box everything here. That way I only have one preset and it would be the only preset that I need for this thing. And I would never mess up my farming and tournament runs by choosing the wrong bot presets. When the day comes that happens for me, maybe the plan then would be to just spend the medals on no, I don't think people will actually spend the medals on the consumable stuff, right? But yeah, I don't know. I presume you would have to be very far along in terms of your progression to go box all four modules. Oh, sorry, all 4 bots. They don't want to use. So I think so back to your point, Nu. If the so it does that mean that, like, the recommended strategy nowadays is after you have spent all your medals on, say, M-Bot and Thunderbot and Flamebot, we are supposed to sit on those medals? Is that the way things would be? Or let's say even if it was for farming, if I had GoBot and MBot completely go boxed, then I presume the next bot to max out would be the Flamebot, because Thunderbot is going to lower my coin per minute significantly. And Flamebot gives me the damage reduction. But perhaps there might be a situation where if I use the damage reduction from Flamebot, I'm not able to run Glass Cannon. And so in that case, it's better for me to not unlock the Flamebot. Is that how it works? Is that why they are sitting on the... Yeah, I mean, that's probably the only reason why I can think of that they are sitting on their medals. You know who would be a great person to ask this? Greenie. If only Greenie was here. How about a HR bot or cell bot? What's a HR bot? Human resources? Cell bot, I know. A bot that increases cells, that would be nice, honestly. Although I think if we get all our cell enhancements maxed out, or you know, if I continue work on my cell enhancements, I should eventually be able to 6x all my labs. Oh, health regen bot. Why do I need a health regen bot? That would be completely useless in Glass Cannon farming, because essentially we're just going to get one tapped. Our wall is meant to break in one hit with Glass Cannon farming for everything aside from overcharge. Antonio, hello. How are you? Seems like health regen is so slow for when going health instead of Glass Cannon. So there is this Glass Cannon perk that we would take that reduces our lifesteal and our regen by 90%. So it might not be... It's not very useful health regen in Glass Cannon farming. Greenie and Crowbar are waiting on something to use the medals. Wow, okay. Yeah, well, I hope they figure out what to do soon. Because, you know, in about 3 to... I'm going to say 6 months, I would be where they currently are, probably. So it would be nice to know what to do when I get to that stage. Antonio, I'm great too. Thank you very much for asking. It's a good tournament run today. We have an easy bracket. So hopefully the wave count of the person in position 2 is not changing between now and wave 3.5k. So then I'm going to wrap up the stream at 3.5k and call it a night. When watch the guys that are not running Glass Cannon in the upper levels, seems like health regen doesn't keep up. Yeah, so Mike, that's exactly what I was mentioning, because of the perk. Not yeah, there's this trade-off perk that reduces health regen by 90%. And I think it reduces enemy health by 50% or something like that. So we need to take that perk. if we want to have any shot of killing the enemies. However, when we take that perk, our health regen drops, and so it's not possible to rely on like the sharp fortitude kind of days where we just let the enemies face plant on our wall and stuff. Oh, when you watch the guys that are not running glass cannon in the upper levels, seems like health regen doesn't keep up. Yep. Okay, so another thing, my stats, is probably when you get to a high tier, the enemy health, the enemy damage is just going to be such a ridiculous number, that your wall health is not going to be able to keep up anyway. So even if I had a lot of health regen, my wall is just going to break from one hit from any enemy, except from overcharge. So yeah, health regen probably not very important in that case, Where it's important is just potentially if my wall is up, it would be able to soak up a couple of overcharge hits. However, in my farming runs, my wall is always broken. So from like wave 2000-ish, my wall is breaking and then respawning and then breaking once again. Chris, hello, how are you? Thank you very much. Good luck on your run as well. It's going to be a great tournament for me today. Do I think Sharp Fortitude make the wall usable before the 500 billion per day? But thinking. So Antonio, unfortunately I am so far removed from that stage of the game that I probably cannot comment on that. Now, when the wall was introduced as an update in this game many versions ago, I just unlocked it and put like 1,000 levels into wall health, and I never looked back. Yeah, it's not possible for me to comment on that. My guess is that if you wanted to use the wall, you might take a short run hit. Maybe if there is really such a thing, you might take a short run hit on your economy, on your farming runs. But as you make upgrades in it should even out naturally. So I would say don't be afraid to just try and experiment and see whether you like it. You can always respec out of it again. Gems are pretty easy to get by. Deva says you should be able to get the wall a lot sooner. Yeah, probably, It's not too difficult to get it. And another thing, Antonio, is just because you lose wave count does not necessarily mean that it's a bad thing, right? I think a lot of people, when they focus on like I'm farming as EHP, the whole point is to try to get my EHP as high as possible. You don't actually need that. You just need to get your EHP to a point where you can survive as many waves as you think you would want to in a run. So if your runs, you are limiting them to be 8 hours, you just need enough EHP to survive 8 hours, and then you do 3 runs a day. If you wanted 12-hour runs, then you need to have enough EHP to survive to 12 hours, however much EHP that is. Alright, and so we're just reaching on about 3.3k waves now. Enemy health is still 136. No, 145D. Yeah, we're not even at 1A. This is such a nice run to end early. Also, it's probably good because I noticed that my stream seems to be crashing every now and then. For some reason, the frames dropped is creeping up again. So I presume it must be pretty annoying as a viewer to see very choppy streaming, or the visual aspect of the stream. If you make 80B a day, it takes approximately 1.5 days to save up to the level 20 wall regen, meaning you should be able to lap a lot before it becomes a problem. Really, is wall regen level 20 only 120 billion? I didn't realize that. Hang on, what is my wall regen? Let's see. Wall regen. Oh yeah, that is true. Level 16 is 91 billion. Wow, that's very cheap. Nice. Okay, well, I mean, I guess I should work on my EHP labs. I'm really liking the defense percent increase. Not like it would matter in today's tournaments, but I guess it's going to delay when my wall is going to break, because at some point a boss is going to hit my wall. And if I'm able to get like 98% damage reduction, I should be able to survive or be able to tank at least a hit or two of the boss. Wall Thorns is critical, wall health and wall fortification plus wall regen. Before Thorns is a few percent, your wall will do nothing for you. Yeah, it's basically just a... So if I remember correctly, I heard, Deva, that back then people used to unlock the wall and respec out of it to get the labs started. I don't think that's necessarily the best idea, but it's perfectly fine to leave your wall completely at zero, just having unlocked it, and then work on the labs a little bit before you get back to it. But in any case, the first few levels of any lab is very short, so it shouldn't take very long to pivot into using the wall. Yeah, you unlock and devolve it to get labs, right? I'm not sure how that works. Again, when the wall came out, I just unlocked it, put in like, I think, few hundred to close to 1,000 levels into wall health, and then yeah, I was pretty much a wall player back then. Yeah, I did exactly what you did as well, Deva. So just unlock it, put it all on the labs. Just a slight detour. I always hear that wall taunts is the law, but it's not that way, so... So there are certain breakpoints, I believe, Antonio, for thorns and wall thorns. I can't remember what they are now, but you might be able to, with a certain wall thorns level and a certain thorns level, be able to mitigate like one extra hit from enemies. So it technically saves your wall for a bit longer, because each time an enemy hits you, there's a heating up mechanic. So the less hits the enemies do, the longer your wall can survive. But I can guarantee you, Antonio, there is no need to permanent wall thorns. No, I'm at 16 on wall thorns and it's working fine. You will bypass the EHP stage very quickly. In today's context, right? Very quickly if you're buying stones and stuff. If you're not, again, you just need enough EHP to survive for 12 hours. So, at max 12 hours, I would say, in a run. No point like doing more than 12-hour runs. You might be able to get slightly more coin per hour by having longer runs. But the marginal gain would be so low. You're better off just putting that lapse into econ, or if you're already done with econ, then move into attack labs. I'm at 14%, farm 10k plus tier 11 before I win glass cannon. Yeah, very similar situation to you, Deva. I think I was very similar. I would hang on, actually no, I never got into the 10k region for tier 11. You can find good infographics there on what percent you would need for max effect. But the link, oh yeah, I think it's not possible to post links on the stream chat. There's a YouTube setting for it, but I can post the links for that. Let me see if I can find it. It should be on the wiki, the tower wiki. So so many pop-ups. Okay, so let's go to the wall. No, apparently it's okay. What about thorn damage? I can't seem to find the breakpoints on the wiki. Not sure where it is. But one thing you can search for, Antonio, would be just like Walton's breakpoints for the tower. You should be able to find something on that. Right, there is the Tower Notion site from JPlay's Discord. I actually have not been on the site before, so did the changes to OA do anything about it standing in EHP? I'm not sure. And obviously OA might still have changed things. Yeah, so I think now with OA we need damage to kill stuff. Still kill stuff. I think Casey was mentioning that in the last stream. Or Taunt without Sharp Fortitude works fine with if it's for EHP, I'm not sure, Deva. But we probably don't need Sharp Fortitude. If you're going to be using Orbital Augment, you probably would use Space Displacer to stun the enemies if you needed the extra stuns. Otherwise, it's not necessary. For Sharp Fortitude, you can go with like ACP for a bit more damage if you needed the damage. And in fact, nowadays we wouldn't the damage because OA is going to have diminishing returns after a while. Chopperino, hello, how are you? Isn't it like 6 a.m.? No, not 6 a.m. It's 3 a.m. for me now in Singapore. So I'm back in Singapore today. Again, Captain C, his wave count has not changed from 2677. We are now at 3.4k waves. So I think it is safe to say that we are going to be fine this tournament, right? So what wave count should I go to? Maybe let's go to 3,456 waves and end it there. Now, is there anyone in the chat that is currently around the 180 wave count in tier 21? It would be nice to know if this is a true reflection of the wave count that people would get with tier 21 about 180 waves. So this is tier 21 wave 66, tier 21 wave 116, and they're both around the 2000 region. Tier 21 120 as well, so 1.9k. So I think we should be very safe, right? Like 126 waves, this guy got 1.9k. 176 waves, 60 more waves, you are getting about 700 more wave count. Oh, okay, Rob, thanks very much for that. You are at tier 21, 345 waves. You got to 3.2k. So, thank you very much for that, which means that I can technically end my run now and be very safe. For this tournament, yeah? So let's end it at 3456 then. Let's take a chance. I think we should be safe. Mr. Flipster, hello, thank you very much. Just here to leave chats like and algorithm and stuff. Thank you very much for that. 812 waves for me. Nice. It's like the digits of my birthday. 8th of December. Okay, 3447. Three, 4, 4, 8. Right, 3, 4, 5, 5. And 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're at 3, 4, 5, 6 waves. Let's end our run. We are taking a chance today. We are going to be at rank 1 by ending the run early. Hopefully they don't manage to catch up, but I think we should be safe. And there's only 4 hours left to join, so I think we should be safe. Hopefully. Bonzo, hello, how are you? No, easy tournament today, so we have the flexibility to. Oh, what's this? I can get another click here. All right, let's do that. Switch to no bound shot. Switch to just regular farming setup. Bring this back down. This back down. As mod. We take this off. And there's just so much to sort out. So let's put this as primary. Let's put this as mod. No, whoa. Not multiverse nexus. Black hole digester primary. Prim CS as mod. Chip as primary. And singularity harness as mod. Yeah, oh my goodness, that took so much time just to sort out. My brain was just not working when I was thinking about how to sort out that thing. We have 11Q. Am I able to afford anything with 11Q? No. The next level would be 17Q. So let's get one level here. So bots are sorted. Chips have to go back to fetch and summon. Summon, I can get 1 extra second of summon. That's nice. Cards farming, modules farming. Everything here is also, yep, okay. So back here, put this in. Okay, let me get caught up with the chat. I just had to sort out all the farming related stuff. So Rappaport, thank you very much. And have to be an adult now. Have a good day at work, Rappaport. Bonzos, yeah, it's been great. This was a very nice tournament. We could end the run early today. So I think we instead of having to do like 4 point something K waves, we end up just 3.5 K waves. A lot easier than I expected today. Maxwell, I want to see your core stats please for farming. Myself, I should have 70+% after the New Year's. You have permanent GT death wave. Sure, Maxwell. My core stats for my chip, this is how they look like. The only flexible substat that I could have was the 4-second black hole cooldown. If I don't have this cooldown, then I would take a lot of chip damage when my black hole falls. Right now I have permanent black hole, or well, close to permanent black hole. I think it's permanent black hole in my farming runs. Let me check. So 34 seconds plus the 12-second perk, that would bring me at 46 seconds. So yeah, it's permanent black hole for farming. My primordial collapse, technically I don't need this last substat over here. I can still get permanent black hole. I just haven't gotten around to rolling it yet. If I could choose, I think I wouldn't mind a chain lightning substat here for chain lightning chance, or maybe chain lightning quantity. I wouldn't mind that, just to tear through the armor stacks a bit better. That way I can actually run with maybe -14 or -15 here, but you know, that little bit of management probably wouldn't affect my gameplay by too much, so I'm not too fussed about it. The next part was you mentioned that you should have 70+% after the New Year's. I presume that means ELS. That's wonderful to have. I have permanent GT Death Wave. Yes, so currently, let me show you my stats. Black Hole, we have seen them already. GT, I'm exactly at permanent GT currently. And for Death Wave, it's a 37-second uptime. With the perk, it would be 9 quantity. So I presume it each quantity fires off every 4 seconds. So that would be 36 seconds of Death Wave firing on a 37 seconds cooldown. Okay, you meant 70% substat efficiency. I see. So I'll show you my S mods. So the only S mod that I have go boxed is the multiplier efficiency for generator. Everything else is kind of just meh. But yeah, we're getting there slowly. So the plan moving forward would be some multiplier efficiency for damage, and maybe juggling. So I might go substat efficiency for generator, and maybe 2 clicks of multiplier efficiency after this tournament. Next tournament I would go 1 click into substat efficiency here, 2 clicks into multiplier efficiency here, and then just repeat the process, right? So go back here, 1 click, another 2 clicks, so that way I can always ensure that my damage is increasing in addition to my ELS and my econ related substat efficiency for farming. Chopperino says, I think they will eventually add a preset for mods in the keys. I hope so. That would be a very nice addition. You know, I don't have to worry about forgetting what modules to use and so on. So Rob, for tanks in tier 18 farming, do I still want bound shot targets or high chance? For just low. Okay. So this is how my farming setup is. So I've got this completely deviled for bound shot range and bound shot chance, which is what. So when you reduce your range, you are going to get a huge boost to your coin economy. Thereafter, if you devote your bound shot chance, you are going to experience quite a significant, by quite significant I mean something like 20% increase in your coin per hour. It makes you die a lot quicker though, so if you cannot survive by devoing your bounce shot chance, what you can do is to just go with, go boxing your bounce shot chance, but you just lock your bounce shot range. Now, why I'm locking both of them is because sometimes if I really wanted to push for extra waves, I might just unlock my bounce shot chance and keep the bounce shot range deviled so that I don't lose too much coin per minute. Yeah. Hopefully that answers your question. I need multiples of 25% in efficiency though. For quantity. Yeah, probably. Jaboka, watch out. I'm catching up. Wonderful. I hope you catch up, Jaboka. It means they're making good progress. Alright, so 2677. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's moving up. So we should be fine. We should be fine. Now, in any case, I think this would be a good time for me to wrap up the stream. It's getting a bit late here. Hopefully you all have equally as good tournament brackets as I did today. And it's a wonderful stream today. So, to recap, we got a good tournament bracket. We also managed to pull 2 modules, Orbital, Augment, and Shrink Ray, which got us 1 extra star in Orbital Augment and 1 extra star in Shrink Ray. Right? And that was the main highlight of today's tournament. So hopefully you all enjoyed the stream. All the best in your tournaments, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!